Hey guys, sit with me today. I need to talk to you about something very serious. It's about suicide and depression. Hey everyone, thanks so much for joining me on Chilling with H today. Heidi here with you. Hope that all is well with you and yours. Well, I know you are accustomed with seeing a lot of recipes on my channel, a lot of recipe videos on my channel. But today I wanted to talk to you guys about something a little more serious, and it's been all over the news lately, and that is mental health. A lot of people have this stigma attached to it, and hence the reason they don't talk about it too much. As soon as you mention mental health, people think you're mad or you're crazy or things like that. But when it really affects someone that you love, there is no shame in it, regardless if you love the person or not, whether it's a friend that you know or even a stranger who's going through it. Because sometimes people who are suffering with depression tend to have suicidal thoughts as well. They're both connected. And people who are going through depression, they tend to be irritable. Some of them are really cranky. Some of them, they just want to curl up in a ball and sleep all day. There are different signs and symptoms. And some of them tend to lash out at people. So, we might think something is wrong with that person. You go to work and somebody comes and, you talk to them and they snap at you. They're always crabby, and, we tend to judge them, but we don't know what they're actually going through. So sometimes, when we say people are going on their own journey, you better believe that, because really and truly you might work with someone, you might live with someone, but you really do not know that person all that well, especially if they don't talk about what they're going through. And we've seen that lately, when celebrities commit suicide. And it's sad because we think these people are, celebrities. They're rich, they're famous, they have everything going for them, they have their families. Look at this guy, comedian actor Robin Williams. Who would have thought someone like him would have done something like that? Even Anthony Bourdain, he was here in Trinidad as well, and he also took his life. We had most recently, in the Bollywood film industry, Sushant Singh Rajput. And it's so sad to see such a young person as well taking his own life. It's something that plagues a lot of people. They don't talk about it, and that's something someone who is not going through depression will not understand. A lot of people are quick to criticize, a lot of people are quick to judge someone who has committed suicide. I personally know someone who was going through severe depression, and they did take their life. They were sick, they were suffering from cancer and couldn't bear the pain. Now, a lot of people would judge that person because it's someone who, was very much into their religion. They were very religious, and you would think that person is the last person on earth to do something like that. But honestly, and thinking maybe how they would have been thinking, only they know what they were going through. To suffer the pangs and the pains of cancer, it's not easy. And this being a man, a lot of men cannot bear pain. We know this. It's not something to laugh at, or it's not something to joke about. It's something very serious. And suffering with cancer, and cancer eating away at your nerves, is quite painful. I've heard one cancer patient refer to that feeling as if scorpion or snakes are biting at you or stinging you. That's how painful it is. And for this individual to have committed suicide because he could not bear this pain, a lot of other people, so-called religious people, judged him. And it hurt my heart because, we can't tell what that person is going through. So I just wanted to highlight depression and talk a little bit about. There's so much information about it online, and if you do your own research as well. But I felt it necessary to talk about it because I know quite a few people who are going through depression, and even their own family and friends don't recognize it. I'm sorry to say that is a fact, because they do put up a front and they're always trying to smile and make everybody else laugh, and deep down they are suffering. They have that dark cloud. On days they don't feel like getting up, sometimes for days they sleep, they get up, maybe eat, maybe not, and go back to sleep. It's hard, it's really tough on them. So we on the outside, so to speak, have to recognize some of the signs and some of the symptoms or traits that accompany depression. That is the only way we can seek to help this person. A lot of people need to talk about it as well. The ones who are going through depression need to talk about it, and that is the hardest thing for them to do, especially if they can't find someone whom they can trust, someone whom they can rely on, because you don't want your business all out there where people saying, oh, so is the case. We don't need that. And in Trinidad, we have that culture where we talk about people's business. Around the world, I'm not sure people might do that as well. Hence the reason a lot of people will not confide and talk about it. So I want you to know that if you are going through depression, if you are having suicidal thoughts, find someone whom you can talk to, find someone whom you trust, whether that be a counselor. And please don't feel that if you have to seek counseling or go to a psychiatrist or a psychologist, it means that you are mad. It does not mean that you are mad. You just need to talk about what is bothering you so much that it has you depressed. That feeling of being unfulfilled. We feel that we have not accomplished enough. We feel that we have let down those that we love. A lot of people during this pandemic as well have become quite depressed and suicidal because they've lost their jobs. They don't know how they're going to provide for their families. And there are cases where people have committed suicide. I saw one article on social media where this family, husband and wife, committed suicide, and they even killed their child or children, I think it was. So it's very, very tragic when a whole family is wiped out like that, all because of depression, all because the parents did not know what to do next. And please seek help. There is no shame in asking for help, and that is what you must realize. I know we have our ego, we have our pride, and we figure, it's embarrassing to ask someone for help, because sometimes you ask and people treat you really badly. I can understand that, but look towards the correct or the right people, so to speak, for help. Maybe a church, a temple, a mosque. People in those areas are very, very willing to help, especially in times like these, and especially during the pandemic as well. Whether you're going through depression because of your career, your job, marriage issues, whatever the case, relationship issues, there is no need for you to take your life. I want you to know that there is no need to do that. Always remember there is help. Always remember there is a solution to every problem. And all you just need to do is to be a little brave and ask for that help. Please know that you are important. You are worthy. You are loved. When you feel like giving up, don't. Please don't. Hold on for one more day. Keep yourself going. Remind yourself that your very nature is happiness. Once you can remember that your very nature is happiness, then all you just need to do is put in a little effort, make a little effort, and try to wipe away that darkness, that feeling of negativity and heaviness a little bit at a time. That's all I'm asking you to do. Just wipe it away a little bit at a time. If you can do that, you're going to discover that happiness within you. You're going to find a solution to your problems. And if you believe in God, if you're a person who believes in God, pray. I ask you to pray, because prayer can work miracles. Trust me, I know God is my guide every day. Without God, I don't know where I would be. Even in my life, I've been through some rough situations as well, but God has pulled me through, and each day He shows me that He is there for me. So please don't give up. If you need to keep your mind distracted and stop thinking negative thoughts, say a prayer. Whatever religion you belong to, say a prayer. Just keep repeating that prayer for help and for healing continuously. Do it continuously. And if you're Hindu, repeat a mantra continuously. If you're Muslim, there are so many prayers that you can say, you can recite. If you're a Christian, there are those psalms as well that you can say. Whatever religion you belong to, and if you don't believe in a God, have a little faith still and believe that you can get help. There's a quote from a scriptural quote, and I didn't want to get into scriptures because I'm sure there are people out there who don't believe in a God, but there's a very powerful quote that says that your mind can be your best friend or it can be your worst enemy. And when your mind becomes your worst enemy, that is when depression kicks in, with suicidal thoughts kick in, and you need to pull yourself out of it. When your feelings, when your mind and your heart, they're not in harmony together, that's when you're going to be feeling that turmoil. You're going to be feeling the knots in your chest. You're going to be feeling like there is no way out. You're going to be feeling like you're in a pressure cooker. And I know many of you have been experiencing things like this, and it's not easy. I know it's not easy, but believe in God. If you are a believer, trust in God that it will get better, and surround yourself with a network of people who will be there to help you, who will be there to pull you through. And if you're one of those persons with chronic depression who are or who is on medication, please seek your doctor's help. It is important that you do that. And of course, your network of family and friends and loved ones who are there for you. You are loved. I know there are a lot of people who live a lonely life. They live by themselves, so it's difficult to have family and friends, and sometimes you might have cut out toxic people from your life just so that you don't have to go through things like this. And yet being alone is a cause for your depression. Whatever the reason is for your depression, I need you to pull yourself out of it. Okay, try to be positive. Surround yourself with good positive vibrations. Sometimes I know it's difficult to come out of bed on mornings or whatever time of the day you wake up, but please try to get out into nature if you can. I don't know, some people live in the city and it's difficult, but if you can, pull yourself out of your bed, get dressed, put a smile on, take a deep breath, and get out of the house or the apartment you're living in. Take a walk in nature. Nature can be so healing. It really can. Whether that means going to a park or a botanical garden or even your backyard if you have some trees, whatever the case is. Even listening to happy music. I know sometimes it's kind of corny to be listening to happy music when you're feeling down and depressed, but try to listen to some good lyrics and things that will uplift you and give you some good positive vibes. Today is actually International Yoga Day, and yoga and meditation is one of the keys to relieving stress. And it's such a coincidence that I'm actually doing this video today of all days. But there are so many videos online, even right here on YouTube, that you can look at, and it's a good practice to do yoga and meditation to help relieve your mind of stress and depression. Getting better and getting out of this darkness of depression all depends on you. It really depends on you, because I really can't get into your head. Nobody else can't get into your head. All we can do is be supportive. You, if you are going through severe depression, you are the one to make that effort, to seek that help. It all depends on you. Only you can make this shift. I know you can do it. I trust you to do it. I trust you to live. I trust you to not give up. I trust you to not give up. Seek help if you have to. Please, your life is worth it. You are worth it. You are loved. Know that you are loved. Someone somewhere out there loves you. And no matter what problems you're going through in life, seek help. As I mentioned before, there is a solution to every problem. Don't be embarrassed. Be strong. That's another thing that I read recently, where we don't teach our children how to deal with failures, and that's a very, very important, if not powerful, statement. And a lot of us don't teach our children how to deal with failures. Everything is, yes, I give you a star, I give you a smiley face at school, yay, come on, you did well, da 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 da. But when the child doesn't perform well, do we say, okay, such and such is a solution, you don't need to feel bad, you don't need to come home and cry, it's going to be better tomorrow, things will get better tomorrow? Do we ever teach our children these things? And when they grow up into adults and they can't handle the problems and they feel like they're in a pressure cooker, or they feel like they're at the end of their rope, so to speak, that's such a difficult thing, for any parent. Imagine Sushant Singh Rajput's parents, how they must feel to have lost their son just 34 years old. So seek help if you must. If you're going through severe depression, please find someone who can give you support.